Hey everybody, we're going to get started. Let me get on. Hey, if you can, subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. Hit the bell button down there so that you can be notified when any other videos come out as soon as they come out. Also, leave a comment on anything else you'd like to learn. For this is just educational purposes only. By all means, do not take any trade just because I post it. You're at your own risk. Only trade with money that you have available. Do not go in and trade with money that you cannot afford. Okay, that being said, I did a video not too long ago over candlestick patterns. By all means, go back and watch that video, but we're going to go over some more candlestick patterns today. This is a big one. And I've just seen it now, and I just forgot I didn't put it in the last videos. But let me go ahead and show you. If you look at the candlestick patterns, to me, you can always predict the future, pretty much. You can predict kind of like the future. It's almost going like playing the lottery, and somebody gives you the Powerball tickets and give you the first four numbers. You have to come up with the last two numbers, or last number in Powerball. Or somebody gives you, yeah, that's the best example. And this is one right here, which I'm in this trade. If you notice, the pattern keeps coming up, 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 and all of a sudden, bam! You had this real long one. See, these are very small, meaning the motivational has ran out. Excuse me. Let me get my chart to work right here. So let me try to find a good one. So you see, it goes up, has a little pullback, then all of a sudden it goes up again. Well, you've noticed all these other candles almost been the same size, except this one is pretty long. These are short. So I always wait till this candle forms, like this one's red. I wait it to form red, and then I go down to a different chart, like this is a daily chart. Then I'll go down to a 1 hour chart. Then I go from there, and I'll watch it as it pulls back in a 1 hour chart, and we'll see. But if you notice, these candles are all pretty much the same size, but then you have this one big candle. That means when it comes up, everybody address that's going to go short has now logged out of it, and it's coming back. Now it's pulling back, and now it's going to come back down and do a retraceable. And how far, you don't know that one, but it kind of is like it's like almost like, you know, what goes up must come down. It's like a lot of motivational in the stock market. It runs and runs, and it's going to rest. It runs, it runs, it runs, it's got to rest. It runs, it's got to rest. Vice versa, it runs downhill, it runs, it's got to rest. It runs, it's got to rest. It runs, it's got to rest. So a lot of times when you have these big pullbacks like this, it's got a, you know, and you see this, it's going to have a rest. It's ran too much, and it's gave it all it can do right in there, and it wants to do it. Now, most of you, if you want to go to an indicator or something, you look right here, Europe is getting weaker, and U.S. is getting stronger. The currency is getting stronger. So there's another indicator that shows that this is going to quit, and this is a Europe and U.S. So that if you want to, you know, you're always going to get two confirmations saying something's going to happen. But I always go by the candlestick patterns first, then I may go look at something else. So this one, you know, U.S. is getting stronger, Europe's getting weaker. So you're going to go that one. Or you may want to go to U.S. And as you see, there's more people voting it's going to go short. Pull this up. Let's see. Yeah, 66% clients says it's going to go short. Now this is usually a halfway prediction. I actually do the opposite of this. I usually go long, but since everybody has changed over, or you can go to this chart and see the back pattern. It's come down. Now it's trying to come back up. So here was a resistance. It's come up. It's tested it. Almost tested here. Come back up. Almost test it. Test it. Now it's come back up. Test again. So there's another confirmation. Or if you want to go to this one, you can go to the bowling bands. If you don't know much about bowling bands, and each one of these things I'm showing you, I want to do a video over them. But here's a bowling band. So now it's pushed into the bowling bands almost 3 deep. And bowling bands is basically is similar like a spring, but I ain't gonna go too much in it because it's bowling bands. So bowling bands kind of work like rubber bands. So if you got a lot of them and something pushes into them and starts pulling them back, it's going to eventually spring back like a spring. So that's kind of what the concept of bowling bands are. So there's all your confirmations telling you this is going to have a pullback. Now how far? I don't know. Most time you shoot for maybe halfway back into the pullback, but don't get greedy. Set your target price, loss price, and then stop loss, target price, and go with that. Get back over here where I was. So if you go to an hourly, see, hourly's coming back, it's coming level. So see, the hourly chart, I got in, well, about right in here, somewhere right in here, I think. So it come up, it tested it, and I noticed it tested again. That tells me, you know, it's going to have a pullback. So I got in it right in here, and I think I'm pretty much even right now. I mean, not even, but it's not making too much money. I mean, it's going pretty much steady across. Yeah, I think I got right in, right when this candle formed and come down. I got in it, so I'm down in it. So that's how you do that. Learn how to read your candlesticks pattern. If you want to more about candlesticks pattern, looks at the other candles. I'll do a video over websites later. And you might want to check, I don't go by it, but it can make you hit a stop loss quick. So see, US had a open thing this morning, Europe had one at 2, so American had one at 9, and US, so that's all your news today. So these two, really the only one you have to worry about, the red one. These two can affect it, but this one hit it. Most of your traders will tell you not to worry about the news. I usually tell you not to worry about it. That being said, news can come out and you can have a candlestick pattern really go down because everybody runs to get out of it, and it can hit your stop loss. So like if this was coming up, you got in this trade right in here, and all of a sudden the bad news come out and everybody decides to get out, it could go up real quick, hit your stop loss, and then juke back down. But it won't do it on, you know, and then go back down. I've been in it where, you know, it's come up and I'm on it and I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna get into a trade, and all of a sudden it's you know, it's going up and it's good candlestick pattern, and then all of a sudden it, bad news come out and hit that candle, come back down, hit it, that wick will go all the way down and hit my stop loss, and then all of a sudden it'll come back up, it'll go back up, change to the green candle and go right back up. So you always got to be leery of that situation. And but like I said, it's done it several times on me. But just remember, there's another guy that always calls it the rubber band man. So if it's running, it's got to pull up. It runs, it's got to pull back. It's going to run, it's got to pull back. Same way it runs downhill. You never see stock market keeps doing this all the time. It eventually does a pullback. Eventually, it always does. So I'm gonna go to this. So if you know my other candlestick patterns, I always go back and look at watch the other video on the candlestick patterns. But like some of these, I go into U.S. Mexico is okay. I can't remember which one of them was. But some of them, you look at the candlestick patterns, you pick a candlestick pattern, you think, okay, it's going to work. It's going to work and it's going to do what it's supposed to do. It does not mean it's always going to do it. It doesn't mean all currencies will actually act like this. So, but this one with the long candlestick, it's going up, and then you got a big long one. It does it, probably 90% of the time, 95. It can go backwards. It can be going down. That's why I was trying to look for a down one. But usually you want more than one or two candlesticks in a row. See, if you notice right here, look, it's going straight across. You get this one form, which if anybody knows what that one does in my candlestick pattern, it's going to go, it's got a tendency of going down. Well, it started going down. This one is a small candle, and then you got your ones right here as normal, but see how little this one is? And then all of a sudden, bam, you had a big engulfing candle. So that tells me this is a trade should turn and go back the opposite way. Possible. Turn and go the opposite way, and there it goes back up. Same way with this one. You actually started here if you want to go with this candle, but you had this big engulfing candle. Well, it didn't finish that hour, so then it has this one. So these two kind of together, but see how these are little bitty candles, all little candles. So everybody's getting out of it, changing directions. It shoots up here. This was green at one time, then it shoots back down, and all of a sudden it starts going down a little bit, comes over here and forms this candle, and then goes down. But see, this one's got a little candle, another candle. This one's a bigger candle than all these, and it goes across. But usually I don't take this one because I like to see more than just 3 candles. Usually like 4, 5, 6 candles. And that being said, if you're going to try to get into trading, and let me go back to that one. If you go back into trading, and you see this, all of a sudden you see these going up and up, you get in the trade, and you're not a good trader. You won't be, because even though you may get this at one good time, and you ride it, and it would be a great one to ride all the way up to the top, and then come back on and then ride it again. It'd be great to do it, but that's what I would do. I see these form like this, especially if they go down to the a minute chart or an hourly chart. You see those candles form, you're thinking, oh my God, I can get in this quick and make a lot of money. Well, no, because a lot of times they don't do it that way. They'll form one fast, and you think, oh my God, I can get in it, make a ton of money. Well, you wind up hurting yourself because it may not do it that way. Like I would see these form in a minute, and all of a sudden seeing these, and I thought, oh, it's going up, and I'll get in that trade, and all of a sudden it does a pullback, goes over, and then it goes down. This one did pretty good. But like I said, it's always don't work that way. Here the English works. So you always got to do it. But I always start with a daily. Find out what you want. Copy it back down to hourly. See what the hourly chart's doing. This one's forming a wedge, which I ain't gonna go over wedges today. Can't always get it to work right. Mouse is not working. So it's all solidating right in this area. So what that means is it's going to underside. The candles are, you got a long one, then you got a little one, and you got a little one, and a little one. And you don't know which way to go, or you got a candle, 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 then candle, candle. So it's actually formed a triangle or a wedge. So if it breaks out of this, it's going to go pretty much downward. If it breaks out of this, it's going to go always. Now that's always not right, but these are pretty much the concept. Usually depends on which way these goes, and then it pulls back, or this pattern here is going up, and it sees it's going, and it continued up. But I'll go over wedges later on in another video. I don't get you all want to know what's going on. What is it? Pick fork is another tool a lot of trader uses. But see, it's not going to work on this one, which is probably not a good one to do it on. And I didn't do that right anyway. So anyway, I ain't going to go to a pitchfork right now. Pitchfork is usually good for and there's a way to draw it. But pitchfork is a very good tool to use. And the way to using it is not the way I'm doing it right now, but I'll show you pitchfork and another thing. I just want to show you what a pitchfork kind of is, what it kind of does. Usually if you form a pattern, if you get a pattern formed up, love to have a pitchfork that way. And a lot of times you'll see the waves comes up and it will touch one of these. It sometimes comes down, sometimes it goes all the way up, touch it, comes down. They'll come down, touch it, and then you just keep going up, and all of a sudden, So these are really good, and that's the reason the pitchforks are really, really good on these. These are actually Fibonacci, and I'll tell you what Fibonacci is in another video. Not in this video. Fibonacci is pretty good longs. But that's it. I'm going to get off here. Y'all have a good one.